Hello everyone and welcome to episode 13 of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I have to post-commentate this episode again because, lucky number 13, I did something stupid again. This time around, I actually forgot to hit record when I hit record, but I forgot to switch the input source from the record player to the microphone, so it was recording from the record player and nothing was playing on the record player. When I figured out what I did wrong on these, I did not hit assemble, so none of the parts stuck. But here I am taking care of that, and we are assembling all this stuff properly. There we go. So yeah, post-commentating, again, it's fun. Figures I'd have to do that on episode 13, right? But hey, all the other 6 episodes that I recorded last night turned out to be just fine. So, let's continue on with this game, shall we? Let's talk about Konami. What the hell's up with Konami? Okay, so, they announce a major game that obviously they have Metal Gear Solid 5 coming down the pipeline. They announce a major upcoming Silent Hill game with Norman Reedus playing the lead role. I don't care one way or the other about Norman Reedus. I don't. I've watched.
Did you manage to get Holden to withdraw the price on my head? He called the bounty off? That's wonderful. I only wish I had something to give you as a reward. Wait a minute. I know. I don't have many credits, but there is something I can give you. It's a family heirloom. It's not much, but it's something. I can never truly repay you for helping me, but you'll always have my thanks for what you did.
Anyway, I've watched an episode or 2 of The Walking Dead, and honestly, I didn't care for it. The show kind of annoyed me because I kept going, stop doing stupid things. You're going to get yourself killed by doing stupid things. And that just aggravated me. It took all the fun out of watching the show for me. So I really didn't enjoy it very much. So I have little to no experience with The Walking Dead. He could be good in this show. I honestly don't know. Based off all the praise that the fans give it, apparently he is very good in the show. Then again, these are the same fans that praise the shit out of the show that I was annoyed by. So my opinion might be different from theirs. But yeah, Norman Reedus, so he's a big name actor at this point, so that's kind of a big deal. But the real big deal was that Hideo Kojima was involved in the development, as well as director Guillermo del Toro, who did he did Hellboy, and he did what is that? Pacific Rim, which I badly need to see because I love giant monster movies in the first place. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I've always been a huge Godzilla fan. I have 20 of the movies on either VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray. I want to get all 27 of them. And the first American Godzilla does not count. The new American Godzilla, that's a good 28th film. That's the United States doing Godzilla right. Certainly it has some problems, but it does so many things so well that it's hard to just shit all, you can tell that the guy that directed it has talent as a director and has nowhere to go but up. I'm actually really excited for his upcoming Star Wars film.
Yes, what's on your mind? I thought I said I don't want to talk about it anymore. Not particularly. I guess it wouldn't hurt exactly either, though I don't know why you're so interested. When I think of all the men who betrayed us, the one that stands out above all of them is the one that I respect the most. Saul. With good reason. Admiral Saul Kareth is the commander of the entire Sith fleet. He's half the reason Malak has done so well in the war. Saul was my commanding officer back when the Mandalorian Wars first began. He taught me everything about being a soldier, and I looked up to him. Saul approached me before he left. He talked to me about how the Republic was on the losing side and about how I should start thinking of my survival. I know now that he was trying to recruit me into the Sith, but I couldn't have conceived of it back then. I argued with him and he got angry and he left. I never saw him again. Saul was my mentor. He led us to so many victories against the Mandalorians. I mean, even when things looked to be at their worst, I couldn't conceive of it. He couldn't be serious. I was wrong, of course. He not only left us for the Sith, he gave them the codes to bypass our scanners. I remember waking up as the first of the Sith bombers snuck past our defenses and began destroying half of our docked ships. I knew right away what had happened. I mean, I could have stopped him. I could have stopped it all. I blame Saul, not myself. I was stupid and I ignored the danger. He nearly destroyed us all. No, I fought Saul for years now, and if I ever catch up to him, he will regret what he's done. He will regret it. Well, there's more to the story, I guess. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's go.
So, yeah. Major project with big names behind it. They announced the playable teaser, and they released that, and it's received incredibly well by critics and fans alike. Everybody loves the playable teaser called PT, right? I didn't get the chance to play it because I don't have a PlayStation 4 yet. I really want a PlayStation 4 at some point. You have no idea. But then rumors start to circulate that this might be Hideo Kojima's last Metal Gear Solid game. Which he has said that about Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 and 4. So we all kind of shrug our heads and go, I'll believe it when I see it. When he says this kind of thing. But then further rumors start to circulate that kind of puts weight behind them. That says that he is leaving Konami. Either he's being fired or he's leaving of his own will. And there are rumors stating that both of them are true. And nobody knows for sure which one is true. But we're all pretty sure at this point that this upcoming Metal Gear Solid game is going to be his last last game with Konami.
Tombatoras Magdelia, Ashuta, Wonga Kondistor Piki Konyana. Kiyoka Kolmolera, Kinkonjo Peshak, Nova Moleraji. Yotoranchi, Aitatia, Ulauna Chimek, Bamulera Slimoanga Kubiskin, Jibeduana Nibobo, Tongnabung Shanungang, Muchititoaki, Jijaku. Naisa Odunga, Taukum Justak Mike Grabilmoga, Tot Badavunko Yagando Naga Chuchut, Moga Shampumpa, Boyawana Chikni, Bamul Slimo Podanawanga Kumbis, Mulira Vest. Tombatoras Magdelia, Ashuta. Wonga Kumbistor Piki Konyana. Chioka kolmolera. Quien conjo peshak. Nova moleraji. Jorion torang chi aitatia. Ula una chimek. Bamulera slimoanga kubisking. Chachis kadom puta. Kasabubaka. Mocha odonga. Ya fulki. Jibeduana ni bobo. Tongmabung shanungang. Muchitito aki chijaku. Kachicho naisa odunga. Taukum justak mike grabrimogo. Tulpada bunko yagando danaga chuchut. Moga shampumpa. Boyawana chikni. Bamul slimo foda nawanga kumbis. Mulira vest. Jibeduana ni bobo. Tongmabung shanungang. Muchitito aki chijaku.
So when it is rumored that Kojima is leaving Konami, they assured us that the upcoming Metal Gear game will in fact be released. Good, that's fine and dandy. I fucking love Metal Gear and I'm looking forward to playing it. I am sure it will be a great game because Metal Gear is always a great game. But everybody had the same question on their mouth. What of the upcoming Silent Hill game? Because this is the one with the most hype behind it probably since 4. It was the last one that people loved and had a lot of hype behind it and people still love to this day. And the PT Tracer got people even more pumped for it by being exceptionally good and creepy. Well, we all wondered this, and it was like, oh, Silent Hills is still in the works, and then Guillermo del Toro says something along the lines of, it's not happening. I wish it was still happening, but it's not. Or something along those lines. And we're all like, oh god. Konami didn't do this, did they? Well, yeah, it turns out they did. They canceled that upcoming Silent Hills game, which has probably more hype behind it than even the upcoming Metal Gear game, which says a lot, because that's an upcoming Metal Gear game. Those always get shitloads of hype, and they always sell well. An upcoming Metal Gear game is always a big deal, and a Silent Hill being an even bigger deal than that, you know, canceling it is just a bad idea financially. I have no idea why they did this, but they took it one step further than that when they decided that they were going to pull down the playable teaser for Silent Hill. And everyone was baffled by this. You can't download it on the PlayStation Network anymore. But that still wasn't far enough for them. They followed that up by pulling down, by making it so that even if you have downloaded it in the past and removed it from your hard drive, you can't go back into your log of stuff that you've downloaded and re-download it. You can't get it back. If you delete it from your hard drive, you lost it forever. And then even more recent development on that whole fiasco is eBay has been polling listing. People started taking the PlayStation 3s that have copies of the PT demo installed on them and selling them for absurd amounts of money, which is bullshit, but it does not break any kind of rule of eBay. You're allowed to sell your PlayStation 3 on eBay, even if it's at a ridiculous price. You're allowed to do it. Or PlayStation 4, rather, sorry. You're allowed to do it. But they started pulling down the PlayStation 4s that have this installed on it. Which seems incredibly suspicious to me because, honestly, eBay has nothing to gain from doing this. Which suggests to me that they're doing this at the request of Konami. At this point, it feels like Konami's ashamed of their own creation. Like, They don't even want to acknowledge that PT or Silent Hills ever existed in the first place. And that is baffling to me. Why would you deny the existence of one of the most hyped up upcoming games you've had in years, and one of the most well-received demos you've had since Metal Gear Solid 2? The Metal Gear Solid 2 demo came with the first Zone of the Enders back in the PlayStation 1 days, back in 2001. Why would you do that? That just... I don't get it. I don't. To make matters worse, they pulled their stock from the New York Stock Exchange. They pulled their listing from the New York Stock Exchange. What's up with that? That suggests first of all, let's deal with what happened with Kojima and Silent Hills and everything. My personal theory on this is the Japanese mindset for business is very honor-oriented. Like, they don't like to be dishonored. I think maybe Kojima has been continually doing Metal Gear games at the request of Konami, and he's kind of getting tired of it. He wants to do other things. Like, he has done Boktai, and he has done Zone of the Enders. He wants to do other things, and get other works under his belt, and be known for something else besides Metal Gear. Not that Metal Gear isn't great, it is, but I'm guessing that having that be all that he does gets old pretty quickly. And I think that's probably led to some kind of argument that led them to feel dishonored, led Konami to feel dishonored, the other higher-ups in Konami. So I think they probably canned him for that. And they're going to let him finish Metal Gear, and then he's gone. Because they feel dishonored, they canceled the Silent Hills project. It's sort of like, you don't get to do this to me type thing. So we're just going to cancel your project and try to erase any instance of it from from existence by getting rid of the PT demo as well. You can't download it, you can't buy a copy of it, you can't re-download it if you've already downloaded it. That's my theory. Although the pulling from the New York Stock Exchange does throw a monkey wrench into this theory. What's up with that? Why do they pull from the New York Stock Exchange? Usually when companies do that, it's a sign of serious monetary issues. And considering that for years now they really haven't had much going for them. I mean, it's been a while since the last Castlevania game, and they tried to repeatedly make Castlevania go 3D, and it really hasn't worked out, especially sales-wise. And they haven't produced like a traditional Castlevania game on consoles in a few years, and they haven't done a Silent Hill in a little while, and I mean, they have franchises that they're sitting on that they could probably make money, but they haven't put them out yet. So I think they probably lost just shitloads of money in recent years. And they're dealing with that.
Yeah?
So I think it's possible that they're having serious monetary issues, which in theory could ultimately mean that they're going to become a big seller. And if they become a big seller, I think it would be wise of Sony to purchase at least a couple of franchises from them. Those two being Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid. I mean, Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid are traditionally thought of as PlayStation games anyway, because that's where we all first played them. That's where most of us have played those games, on the PlayStation console. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and they've had exclusive games to those various consoles over the years. So I think and those are two major franchises that if Konami... Wait, I think this is a cutscene here.
You won't be able to get that computer to lower the energy fields unless you know the proper codes. Lucky for you, I've got them. I picked them off the pocket of a black Volker who had a little too much to drink in the cantina one night. Here, let me get that energy field down for you.
Yes?
So I think if Sony were to pick up those two franchises, that would be a huge win for them, and that would pull a lot of gamers into their camp. They'll be like, Sony has a couple of major franchises under their belt now, and they're only going to come to Sony's consoles. I'm going to go with Sony. So I think that would be major for them, and I think if Microsoft were to buy those two particular franchises, that would be a major loss for those franchises as a whole. Silent Hill hasn't done so well in the hands of Western developers, and the Xbox in general has done piss poor. Every single generation of the Xbox has done piss poorly in Japan, and I don't think it'll ever do well in Japan. They want the PlayStation. They don't want the Xbox. So that'll cut out a large portion of your target market for games that are traditionally Japanese, because most of the entries in those series were created in Japan. In fact, every single entry except I don't remember if Revengeance was created in Japan or not, but the rest of them were. So, I mean, those are Japanese franchises, and going to a Western developer / console maker would ultimately hurt them, I think. So I think if Konami is wise, they will, and wants to sell them, they would sell to Sony. That's my thought on that anyway, and like I said, that would be a major, and I do mean major, blow to Microsoft in the console wars type thing. So I don't know what's going on with Konami right now. It's all theory. That's all I'm spewing forth is theory as to what's going on. I can't say for sure. But something definitely fishy is up with them. I hope they don't turn into like a mobile games developer or close their doors, because that would be kind of sad to see, because I mean, Konami has been in business and making good video games since the original Nintendo days, where they had two labels, I believe, Konami and Ultra Games, because as I remember, Ultra Games was a subsidiary of Konami, so that they were able to put out more games on said console back then. I think that was the reason. Don't quote me on it.
Hey there, what can I do for you? Okay, have it your way.
So it would be sad to see them go under. They've developed so many great games, and they're sitting on a bunch of franchises that they're doing absolutely nothing with. Kind of like how Nintendo has been doing that for years. I mean, when the hell was the last time we saw an F-Zero game, for example? I believe the last time we saw a game in that particular Nintendo franchise, I didn't mean to talk to her there, was the GameCube. Oh, speaking of Nintendo, they're in their own hot water. I believe I've talked about their bullshit YouTube policies in the past, but their YouTube policies suck, and they're very draconian. Don't bite into their YouTube network deal, because you'll get a much better deal doing different games somewhere else. And I get that Nintendo makes awesome games, and I want to Let's Play some of them. I want to Let's Play like Link's Awakening and Link to the Past, and I want to Let's Play Super Metroid, and I want to Let's Play Star Fox, and a bunch of different games, but I won't do it. Not because of their thing, but the Wii U just reached $9.5 million in sales, or 9.5 million in total sales worldwide. After 2.5 years, it reached 9.5 million in sales. Stop and think about that, because god damn, that took forever for them to do. that means their console is selling incredibly poorly. Extremely poorly. At this rate, they will be lucky if they reach the sales of the GameCube by 2018, you know? And by that point, we should be looking at a newer console from Nintendo, because they already announced that, which tells me that they're basically giving up on the Wii U. Is what that suggests to me. Can't say that that's for sure what they're doing. Can't say what the new console is. It might be another version of the Wii U. I don't know. But it suggests to me that they're giving up on it. I can't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, 9.5 million. It's piss poor sales. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination. And Nintendo needs some help, man. Oh boy, do they ever need some help. Because the Wii U is a commercial failure at this point. It's like a boat anchor around their neck. And I don't want to say that about Nintendo, because they have had several consoles that I have enjoyed quite a bit over the years. But it really is. At this point, once you get later into a console's life cycle, sales tend to slow down. So by year 4 or so, sales of the Wii U will probably slow down even further than they have been, instead of picking up speed. So we're looking at them having trouble reaching 20 million in sales total worldwide, which would make it their worst selling major console of all time. And that is just piss poor. I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you everybody for watching this episode of Let's Play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. That would be greatly appreciated. We will talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody. Bye.